better, make her feel better, then that's where she'll go.
Hey y'all, welcome to the channel, and if you're new here, thanks so much for joining. My name is Misty, and today I'm bringing you another episode of the Globetrotter Challenge. As you can see, Piper is here in the forest and doing some horseshoes, but we are just going to be working to get her continuing on with this aspiration where she needs to identify these plants that she needs to be identifying, as well as trying to concoct these herbalism recipes that she needs to be concocting by mastering the herbalism skill. So she does need to be continuing on getting this herbalism skill up. We are just trying to make sure she gets this herbalism skill up. For now though, she is just mastering this horseshoe game and she is rocking it, and she is having the time of her life. She is feeling pretty inspired right now and is having a pretty good time out here in Granite Falls. We are having a lovely time. As you know, she has been struggling with the fact that she has been out here in Granite Falls for as long as she has. We know that these two have been here for quite some time, and she is really getting to a place where she is kind of sick of the forest. And I think that Roman is slowly getting to a place where he's kind of sick of the forest as well. Both of these two are ready to start to settle down. They're getting to a place where both of them are kind of wanting to start looking into finding a place where they can get a home and settle. They are homesick. Not that either one of them would know what being homesick really looks like, because all they have ever known is jumping from place to place to place and adventure to adventure to adventure. But both of them are now realizing that this adventure in this Granite Falls is really dragging out. This is probably the longest adventure that they have been on. It is taking them the longest to try to complete this adventure in this area. And they are really struggling with trying to get all of these plants gathered. Identifying all of these plants and mastering this herbalism is taking a really long time. Piper is really struggling through this, and she's realizing that she is being in this area for longer than she had kind of thought she was going to have to be in this area, and she is really, really sick to death of this area. And if she never had to look at another tree in another forest again, it would not be soon enough. And Roman feels exactly the same as she does. Roman has decided to run on by here, as you can see, and it has made her instantly flirty. She absolutely loves being around her husband. These two are just going to do a little bit of flirting. She's going to come in and swoop in and give him a kiss here. She loves him so much. These two have such a strong bond, such a strong passion for one another, and I love to see it. I cannot believe that they have been through everything that they have been through, but these two are so very much in love. Every single day their love gets stronger, and that is why I say these two are so ready to settle down. They are ready for the next step in their life, and I'm not exactly sure if it's going to happen before or after Salvadorado, but I do think that these two are definitely going to end up purchasing themselves a place and settling down and having themselves an actual home. These two are definitely deciding this is what they want to do, is to get themselves a home. As you can see on the calendar here, it is the first day of summer. We are now down to the wire. We have the first week and the second week that we could probably spare here in Granite Falls that we have to complete this aspiration. We are on the third section of the Outdoor Enthusiast. We have one more after this. So we have only 2 weeks worth of time left that we have to complete this, and then we would have to move on to Salvadorado. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to complete this, and we'll have technically failed this challenge. The pressure is definitely on that Piper has to get this. She's got to do this. Like, the grind is on. So she needs to master this herbalism, find these plants, identify them, and get these recipes and she needs to do it in a really short amount of time. These two are, as you can see, just doing a little bit of flirting. They're talking about the fact that she is wanting them to go ahead and look into possible houses because she wants them to get their own place. And as you can see, it is making them feel very, very flirty, very, very frisky, and they are just having a little bit of a makeout session here, and they've decided that they want to have a little bit of intimate time together. And she's like, let's take a picture together to commemorate the moment that we've decided that we're going to go ahead and make it official and get a place and us purchase a house. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So these two have decided they are going to go ahead. They are going to be purchasing a home soon. Between here and Salvadorado, they have decided they are going to get a home before they go to their next adventure, and they are going to have a home to call their own. And they haven't decided where yet they're going to put this place, but they are definitely going to move somewhere, and they're going to finally settle down and be what you would call a stable couple in a stable home and begin their life together. Obviously, they still have their adventures that they need to go on for this challenge, but they want to have a place that they can actually call home and not just have a tent trailer that they run around in. She is telling him how happy this makes her, and she is going to go ahead and give him a kiss, and they are going to go ahead and go and have a quick woohoo in the tent because she wants to show him how much she cares about him, how much she loves him, and how moved she is by this big decision that they've made. And obviously, as we know, these two are still trying to go ahead and get pregnant. She is wanting to have a child, and so they are going to go and have a little bit of alone time in the tent and try for a baby. Well, obviously not try for a baby. I don't have that option here in the forest, but they are going to have a quick woohoo in the tent, and she is just enjoying her time with Roman here. They are going to afterwards go ahead, and she is going to go around the area and do a little bit of collecting and seeing if any of the plants are ready to collect. There are some new sprouted plants that have come up since it is summertime now that weren't around when it was just spring. So we do have some new plants that we can take a look at that she can view and possibly even harvest, hopefully. So she is going to definitely look at some of those plants. We have a couple of new bugs in the area that she can maybe collect for some of the recipes for some of the balms that she is going to need to make. So I am just going to get her collecting insects and things like that. Anything that's in the area that she can collect, we will go ahead and collect. And then she is going to just do a little bit of cleaning up here in the campground area. And we will also need to go ahead and take her to the hermit's house at some point so that we can look in his area and see if there are any new plants over in his area, because I do know that there are a lot of plants in his area that are available that will be growing. Roman here is just getting a little bit of marshmallow roasting in, which we absolutely love. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of traveling and go ahead and go over to the hermit's area now so that we can look for any plants in that area. Falls Forest, and as you can see, we are going to just go ahead and go over to the area where you enter in to the bush here, and we're going to have Piper go ahead and do some exploring, and she's going to enter through, and we will send her on in, and she can explore into that cave entrance there, and we will send her through, and she can then go to the hermit's house. So she's entering on in, and then we will arrive at the hermit's house. So we have arrived over here at the hermit's house, and Piper is just looking around. We are going to look and see if there are any new plants in the area that she can harvest, and anything that is harvestable we'll go ahead and harvest and dig up. That way we can have anything new that has come up in our arsenal that she can hopefully identify and or use for recipes for concoctions and things like that. And we'll probably go ahead and have her spend a little bit of time here at the hermit's house. We will most likely stay here for a couple of days, or at least overnight, and wait for the plants to go ahead and come up. It does look like there are a couple of plants here that have not yet sprouted that we're waiting on, so we will go ahead and just spend a little bit of time here at the hermit's house and wait for those plants to go ahead and sprout so that we can hopefully harvest them. So we'll probably go ahead and get Roman to come over and he can spend some time here with us. While we're here, we'll most likely take advantage of the facilities that we have here at the hermit's house. Like, she can cook while she's here, she'll have a bed, she has a toilet that she can use, and she's gonna go ahead and collect some insects while we're here and just go ahead and use everything on this little hermit's island here that she can to her advantage. So as you can see, she is just going ahead and collecting some of the insects on this area, and she has collected some Luna moths, which is perfect. And I am just going to go ahead and take her over here and let her take a look at some of these plants. It looks like there is, like, this grill is looking pretty rough. I'm going to go ahead and have her just clean that up. She doesn't have anything available right now that she can use to brew the herbal remedies. So we are still working to try to collect everything that she needs to brew some herbal remedies. We do have a plant that has gone ahead and sprouted here. So now we just need to wait for it to yield a crop. So we will probably just wait for that to take place. It usually takes a couple of days' time. So we'll probably just stay here and wait for that to happen. So we'll let her spend a little bit of time here at the hermit's house while we wait for that to take place. So she's just going to go ahead and, you know, encourage this plant to grow. She's going to get a little bit of cloud gazing in, and she's going to obviously just take care of tending these plants, and hopefully we will be able to harvest from these plants soon. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and have her come over here and take a pregnancy test, since we do have a toilet available. And we'll see if she was lucky enough to get pregnant during their woohoo that they had in the tent there. And Piper is going ahead and taking that pregnancy test, hoping that she is maybe lucky enough to get pregnant. And while she's waiting, she has realized that no, unfortunately, Piper is not pregnant. And maybe she'll have better luck next time. So she is unfortunately pretty sad that she was failing to conceive. And she is realizing that sometimes it is harder to plan for a family than she would have hoped for. Poor Piper is really struggling, knowing that she really wants to have a family, but it's trouble, you know, she's having trouble getting what it is that she wants, and that is a child. And she doesn't understand why it's so difficult for her to get pregnant, but she is struggling getting pregnant. And she has invited Roman on over here to the area, and she is going through a little bit of a depressive moment right now. She's feeling really, really down. It's partially from her being sad about not conceiving, partially from her cancer trait, but she is really going through some depressive sadness right now. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and have her come on in here and serve dinner. We're going to get her to serve a little bit of clam chowder. That way there is something here for everyone to eat. But she is just really, really struggling right now with her emotions. She is not really sure what she needs to do to get what it is that she wants in life. Yes, her and Roman have decided that they want to go ahead and get a place to live and they're going to settle down. But she also wants a family, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen right now. And sure, she's okay with the fact that it doesn't have to happen right this second. Obviously, she wants it to, but why not right now? You know, she kind of feels like they've been waiting for forever, and she doesn't know why they're having so much trouble getting pregnant.
Okay.
So she is really kind of saddened by the whole thing. I am going to go ahead and bring Roman over here and just let him get a bit of a shower. He is feeling pretty grungy, so we're going to go ahead and queue up for him to take a quick shower here at the hermit's house. And so he's going to come on over and get a shower while Piper cooks and finishes up this supper meal here. Unfortunately, she is going to have a conversation with Roman and just let him know that she is not pregnant and that she's really down about it. And I think that she would just tell him, I'm really, really upset. I was really hoping that I was going to be pregnant and I'm not. And I'm really saddened by this news. I think Roman would be like, honey, it's perfectly fine. I understand your sadness. I really do. But these things happen when they're supposed to happen, in the time frame they're supposed to happen in. All things happen for a reason. And maybe it's just not supposed to happen right now. And when it is supposed to happen, it will happen, and we can keep trying. So even though I understand that you're saddened, and even though I understand that you're down, you know, keep your chin up and just know that we'll keep trying for that baby that you want, and eventually it's gonna happen. So I think that she's talking now to him, her little hermit friend here, and she's like, do you have any advice on families? And he's like, no. No, I don't. I'm a hermit, dear. I don't have a family, and I don't, you know, really have all that many friends. Truth be known, the most contact I've had with anybody is you guys, and that even makes me a little bit nervous. And I don't even know if I'm interacting with you guys the way I'm supposed to. Like, I don't know if I'm just really socially awkward, and I don't have any advice really that I can give you. I'm so sorry, dear. She's like, that's quite all right. I'm sorry that we're imposing on you the way we are. It's just, you know, I heard there were some plants in your area that we could harvest for some herbalism, and I'm just waiting for them to bloom. And he's like, yeah, there absolutely is. And you take all the time you need. It's perfectly fine. In the meantime, he's making some de-stressing concoction, and they're all over the damn place. And so I think that she could maybe even take one of those. That would probably help her out a little bit. Why don't you take one of these? She's like, no, I don't necessarily need to take one. I'll put them away for you, but I don't necessarily need to take one. She's feeling pretty inspired looking at him creating all of these herbalism potions, though. It's really inspiring to her that he's able to pop them out like this. And she's thinking, just imagine if I got my herbalism up like he's gotten his herbalism up, I could make all those potions like he's making. And it would be amazing. Look at all the stuff that you can make with herbalism. That is so inspiring, and I can't wait until my herbalism is high enough level that I can do those things. And Roman's like, yeah, honey, it'll be great. I understand, but how long is that going to take? Like, how much longer are we going to be out in this forest? Like, I really want us to get a house. I really want us to continue on with our lives. I don't want to spend our entire lives out in this damn forest. And she's like, no, I understand, Roman. I know. And, you know, she's come out here, she's looking at the moon, and she is looking at the stars, and she's thinking, I don't want to be out here either for that long. I do feel like we've been out here for entirely too long waiting on these plants to grow, and sometimes waiting on plants to grow takes forever. And she's like, but I can't rush these things along. I mean, nature is nature. It takes the time it takes, and I can't rush this process any more than I can rush getting pregnant. Like, unfortunately, this is all a cycle that just has to be done in the time frame it has to be done in, and these things are out of my control. So as you can see, Roman and Piper are just having a little bit of a talk about the fact that he is really starting to get a little bit tired of the forest, but he wants to know if she wants to go ahead and try again for a baby. And she's like, yeah, I would like that. And he's like, I think that you and I should go ahead and try again. And she's like, okay. And he's like, this time I want to actually try for a baby. I don't just want to woohoo in a tent. We have a bed here at our disposal. Let's go ahead and actually really try for a pregnancy. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah, really. Like, let's actually try to actually get pregnant with a baby. And she's like, okay. So they're going to go in here, they're going to borrow the hermit's bed, and they're going to actually try for a pregnancy. For the first time, these two are actively trying to get pregnant with a baby. And they are both really thrilled, really excited to be trying to get pregnant. But it's what they both really want is to have a child. And so they are both decided that they think this is the route that they want, and so they have decided that a home and a child is their next course of action. And so they have kicked the hermit out of his own bed, and taken it over, and they are going to try for this baby, and then I'm going to send Piper into the bathroom to take another pregnancy test. She's going to go on in there and she's going to mop up the puddle that's in there. It looks like there's a little bit of a mess in there and she's going to clean that up. But then I'm going to have her go ahead and take a pregnancy test, and we're going to see if she has gotten pregnant. So we will go ahead and do that and just see what the results are of that. As you can see, Roman has gone ahead and he has made a little bit of a meal. So they are just going to go ahead and sit down and have a quick meal here. Once they finish their meal, then we will go ahead and send Piper in to have that pregnancy test. He's like, what do you think? Do you think we're going to be lucky enough to get pregnant? Do you think that it's going to have worked? And she's like, I honestly don't know, love. I kind of hope so, but I can't figure these things out for myself. Like, I don't know. I won't know until we take the test. And he's like, okay, well, fingers crossed, right? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. I really hope so. So she's going to go on inside here. She's going to take this test, and we're going to find out if she is pregnant or not. And then we will let Roman know and see how he takes it. So she is taking the test, and we are just going to see how things go. And she is really, really nervous, and then she realizes that once again she is not pregnant. Maybe next time. And she is instantly saddened all over again when she realizes she has once again failed to conceive, and that she is really finding it really, really difficult to go ahead and expand her family. And she does not know why. She's come on outside. She is going to go ahead and tell Roman that no, unfortunately, we are not pregnant. And she's going to cry on Roman. And she's going to tell him how sad she is by the news that she is not pregnant. And she's going to tell him that she is really, really sad, sharing her melancholy thoughts with him over this and saying to him, like, what is it that we have to do to get pregnant? And he's going to tell her again, honey, I already told you. I know you're really sad, but we can keep trying. But guys, I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.